too greedy. I really wanted a man. The people 16 billion. I know how to do this. Oh God. The people 16 billion. I know how to do this. This one. I was too greedy. I really wanted a man. The money the way Joe we have over Papa me. But I overhit you. The president taking the money very small. The Papa say going to cause some people. That what I made me scared. You know? Oh God. The people 16 billion. I know how to do this. This one. I was too greedy. I really wanted a man. The money the way Joe we have over Papa me. But I overhit you. The president taking the money very small. The Papa say going to cause some people. That what I made me scared. You know, going no similar being able to call John or who. But I'm scared. I know what we can do. I want to be all go we play. Those man Jew. All the people money and I still get money to replace it. This is still better. The Papa knows what they want the money. This one. But anyway, I don't know the day I'm going to steal it. Or who steal the money, but we that's as who will kill.
Photo dead
The one is, they have few with more.
I know what we can do. I want to be all go we play. Those man Jew. All the people money and I still get money to replace it. This is still better. The Papa knows what they want the money. This one. But anyway, I don't know the day I'm going to steal it. Or who steal the money, but we that's as who will kill.
Yeah. Photo dead
The one is, they have few with more. Oh, go to mine. And then go to your land.
Bring it. Yeah, bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Yeah, bring it back. Bring it. 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 Yeah, bring it back. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. The other day I saw a minister giving one all I got money for sex. Mama la pure crying again. I want to go and do it again. Few people not feeling passing the job while the masters coming suffer again. Last in the competition, you know, be other fucker who force up a change. Not care for the woman, the papa, the children that are selling all in the street. What play the money in the street? So you go out there and tell you go beat me and sleep. No food wash me about to eat, but I also see me like a few group of people not steal. The money lost so one there. The national your money set. Oh, control that they all free for now. Having no security camera there. Check. We need fast and prayer. Yeah. The minister and the rubbish senator, everybody got the hour you expect. When they finish smoking their opium, they cause each other mad, then they fight. You're smoking up on your yard. You're smoking up on your yard. You guys saw somebody mother yet?
Y'all see our money, I bring it back. All pay our time, we are cheering back. If my grandfather sit on our money, they pay your father, I pray him a drop it down. Roll. We pro. Y'all stealing the money, I forget you don't know we ain't got cool car roll. Score go. Then I score new go. The pass continue the field, and not the follow bien close to. The pass continue the field, and not the follow bien close to. We all continue back. Yeah, we all continue back. Yeah, we all fantastic continue back. We all continue back. Yeah, we all continue back. We all continue back. Yeah, we all fantastic continue back. We all continue back. We all continue back. Yeah, we all continue back. Yeah, we all fantastic continue back. Yeah, we all 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 fantastic continue back.
Me, I know the money better. We talking about when I get nothing for it. Smoke coach like that. Y'all want tell me say the money the lost will not find it. Follow opinion, none of that continue. So you go throw it with K. That's scorpion. All of them know the person that take the money. They just with it, but the toy. The whole coach back. be on the top. I sit and start to be smoking the weed. Rabbi said it, then it's setting the tea. Minutes on the inner who's so coming in all the ninja be running chill with. Bring the ball that bread. I know my little bunches of they think you know everybody walk out there on that corner. I know the popular fan, but I wouldn't die. Still put in the job. Nigga, you get a rat. But if it passes a car, what's it with the then it's in the government feature, so we thought the girl can't slap. When they got the hour cat, we gotta get mad. When they got you be hot, then I get tough for her. After the CS, yeah, then it's still my fault. But we'll tell them no. We got all the nights, we won't know the people that I stole the money for the continue. They ask they call me official, you know that's smoking opium. One let to go to jail, first so they just to equal me up.
We are continue back. We are continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. Yeah, we are fantastic continue back. We are continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. We are continue back. Yeah, we are fantastic continue back. We are continue back. We are continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. Yeah, we are fantastic continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. Yeah, we are continue back. We are fantastic continue back.
Hello? What do you mean? What do you mean I rock with your cow? Let me not be stealing the money that you rock with you. Yeah.
What do you mean I rock continue count now?
That's your coach.
Oh, I made a government crooked at dinner.
That fucking yeah.
All the suffering was suffering at the rock continue.
I would get up from there. I would get up. So my guy, we are the one that put you because that rock for you, they don't grab it for you.
Oh, Daddy, what shall we do? Since John. 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 Oh, Daddy, what shall we do? Since John.
What shall we do?
Welcome you to the program Profile Liberia. Profile Liberia is an advocacy program and also a platform where we profile Liberia. We put Liberia under the microscope according to news and development from Liberia. And today we'll continue, like I promised this week, that between Monday to this Thursday, we will be here for 2 hours every day talking about our money. The missing $16 billion and the misdirected $25 million as well. But we know the $16 million investigation is ongoing. And the reason we have decided that from this Monday until Thursday, that we want to continue talking about is that because by this Thursday we are expecting a report from both the government and the international organizations that are helping us. Thank you so much for sharing the video. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so the responsibility lies on our shoulders. Those of us that say we are patriotic citizens of Liberia, those of us that refer to ourselves as advocates for social justice, the responsibility is ours to voice out, to keep asking the question and looking for answers as well regarding this $16 billion. You know, it is so disheartening. It is so much disheartening to note that individuals, people who are sons and daughters of Liberia, would do this kind of a thing. And they are telling me, they are telling us that they go to bed and sleep sound. I'm wondering whether they do at all. We're talking about $16 billion, nearly 10.5 million US dollars we're talking about here. It's not small money. The money that can transform a hospital, perhaps, and revamp it into a modernized institution. 10 million, 10.5. When I went to JFK, the last time I visited JFK, and when I came across this child at Redemption Hospital who has these, who was suffering from hydrocephalus, where the head of the child can be big. When I went to visit JFK, and I went to visit the Redemption Hospital. That's about 2 years ago, and I came across this child. I went that day on the Christmas day to go and distribute toys to children that were on the wall. And I came across this child here. The parents, the mother, abandoned him because of the sickness. When she saw that the head was getting big, she got scared. You know about African, we are not that educated. I mean, they forgot to know that this is a disease, that they need hospital attention. But everything, they tie it down to traditional beliefs or so. And they left the child somewhere behind the house. That's when a passerby saw the child and called police. They took the child to the nearest hospital, which was Redemption Hospital. And the hospital thank God to the hospital manager, Brother John. John, in fact, named this child that is now late as his namesake. And they started giving him treatment, started giving him attention. Yes, thinking that, or trying and praying that this child can still have a second chance in life, like any other children that is going through some suffering today in hospitals. Yes. Thank God that faithful day when I got to Redemption Hospital, after taking the rounds and I came across this child, I couldn't stand it. I was asking myself so many questions. Why should this innocent child be suffering like this? Why did the mother abandon him? At this very early stage, a baby, innocent child. And after consulting with the nurses and asking them as to what has been done, I remember the administrator of the hospital, John told me, he said, Max, we're trying our best to just keep him on. We're still looking for ways and means that this child can have a second chance in life. That's why we're still trying our best. We're not going to give up hope. Yes, we do not have the means. We do not have the technology. that we can actually operate on this child and give them second chance in life. But we are going to look after him until then. And I took pictures. I asked them their permission. I took picture of the child because I wanted to actually campaign and try to find somebody somewhere to help this child. And that day I went, immediately after I left the hospital, I went to JFK Memorial Hospital. I went to see the chief medical officer. We sat down and I said, I want to talk to your mom. And she came, we sat down. How is JFK? How is everything? And from one point to another, telling me challenges or so. And I told her, I said, look, I have a case here. And this case is about this innocent child. And I took the pictures and showed it to her, gave it to her. Have a look, mommy. This child needs a second chance in life. Somebody somewhere should be able to do this job. So I looked and she said, Max, thank you for bringing this to my attention as well. But to be honest with you, we have challenges. We even have a doctor here that can do this operation in Liberia, a Liberian doctor. But unfortunately, we do not have the equipment. As I speak to you right now, we're trying to get even one CT machine. The CT scanner. But the challenges are huge. I understand what this child is going through. Now, which we have the equipment here. Since we have the specialist here who is a Liberian as well, we can do this operation here. But Max, we do not have it. We do not have the equipment. There's so many people that are dying in this country. There's so many people that would have gotten a second chance in life. But because we do not have the specialized equipment in our hospital, we lose them. We lose these citizens. I told her, I said, but then there's no more hope. Because my hope was here at JFK, the biggest referral hospital. But if you can tell me now there is no hope here, almost like there's no hope for this child to be given a second chance in life. I told her, I said, well, I'll soon be going back to the UK. What I will do is I'm going to engage some hospitals and just see whether we can get help. Little John was staying at the hospital there, struggling. Thank God to the nurses, the wonderful nurses that are there. They didn't draw the line, they were feeding him. Some of them were there, so special, looking after him, but giving him a bath, putting clothes on him, making sure that he eat and take his medication whenever was available. I just want to thank you very, very much at Redemption Hospital there. I came and I started sharing this video and these photos, and I went on social media as well. And luckily, I came across the hospital. They requested for the documents and everything, hospital reports or so. I emailed back again and I said, Brother John, this is it. Can you send us a medical report on this child? By the time the medical report was coming, little John was gone. He was dead. I felt a weight. It's almost like I was blaming myself for what? For losing John. I was blaming myself for losing John. Because I got to know about it. It was like, God, why can't you just make me an instant millionaire right now to take this ball out of here? Instead of just running campaign to look for money and look for doctors and look for hospitals and things. These are some of the situations that we are going through in Liberia as a nation. And somebody is telling me that it is wrong for us to ask for the missing $16 billion. And a Liberian is questioning us that are asking questions about this money. And I'm wondering as to whether they are on this planet Earth. I posted this morning as usual. I have a special post that I put together almost since the day the money issue came out. In the morning I will send that post. In the evening I will send the bedtime ones as well. Somebody commented on the one I sent this morning that it is belated, a Liberian. Belated? Asking for $16 billion is belated? This is not fair. Hospitals are shutting down. Community centers, community healthcare centers are struggling. Clinics are shutting down. After the young people, I can say others also, after spending 6, 7, 10 years, almost 20 years, trying to get 1 degree to become a nurse or so. The opportunity has come for them to put their skills into practice or so. Then hospitals are crippling down. Hospitals are closing down. Clinics are closing down. These people are losing jobs. Their skills is now questionable. Now in the next 2-3 years, if they don't continue to practice, if they don't have the opportunity to leave Liberia, they almost become useless. Their skills will become useless. And then somebody is telling me here, or telling me that it is belated to ask for the $16 billion. I can tell you, I'm just sorry for you. But the only thing I can remind you all is that no matter how long this rope is, no matter how long you think this rope is, we will reach to the end of it. No matter how long this rope, this $16 billion rope is, no matter how long it is, we will reach to the end of it. All of you, those children that are dying, our citizens that are dying right now because there's no medication in hospital, there's no medication in those community healthcare centers or so. There's no painkillers there also. They're dying from diseases that can just be cured within 30 minutes or after taking a medication. There's no medication. Why should we fly people out of Liberia after an accident? An accident, in a situation that we can take care of back home. Why? It's because we don't have medication. We don't have specialist equipment. And just few people are enjoying the wealth of the nation. This is what I keep saying. 99% of the Liberian population are the ones that are going through hardship. 99% are the ones that are going to bed with no food. 99% are the ones that their children are going to school. They wake up in the morning, there is no breakfast. They come from school, they are just looking around. They go in the kitchen to see whether mommy left something there, but there is nothing there. 99% of them. Now in the morning when you wake up, it is school day. When you see them outside, a 7 years old, a 10 years old, a 12 years old, and when you go and ask, they say, my mommy, my daddy don't have money to send me to school. 99% of these people are our citizens. They are the ones that are going through this hardship. And 1% of the population is enjoying the wealth of the nation. And somebody is telling me that they can go to bed and sleep sound. You drive, you pass by them every day. Some of them, you call them names. Some of them, you don't even want them to come close to your car to come and beg you. Yes, when you see them coming, even when your window is a little bit half, you carry up higher and locked it because you do not want to associate with them anymore. You're forgetting to know that they are your citizens. They become beggars today because of your attitude. How can we move forward as a nation when we are so corrupt, when we do not want to help, when we do not want to associate with other people? The only time we know the value of individuals, especially when they are 17 or 18, the only time we know the value of them is when the day is around for election. When we go to them, we lie to them, we give them one t-shirt, they think that the t-shirt, it's so expensive that they can't, and maybe it will take them another, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7 years before they can buy a t-shirt on their own. Come on, man. This money, we want this money, $16 billion. We are following it. Even this morning, we made a call to the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia. We want this money. We want a report. And the moment the report is out, we want our money. You know how many civil servants today are just working, they're just saying they're going to work, but they can't get paid? And somebody, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 3, 4, 5 people went and shared money like this among themselves. Come on, man. This is bravery. I don't know. This is not bravery. This is wickedness to the highest. Wickedness to the highest. You can't be so wicked at this. In the morning or Sunday morning or so, we packed up, we are rushing to go to church, to go and sit in our church, to go and sing praises, and thinking that yes, we are praising the Lord, and thinking that yes, we are doing the right thing. And then from there, even our offerings that we gave is corrupt money. We need to wake up. Well, I bring people, for some of you that are still sitting on the fence and you don't want to talk about this. You don't want to talk about any ills in your society. You don't want to question those that you need to question. You know why? You are contributing to what they are doing. You are accepting. You are agreeing. You are supporting them. That is what Desmond Tutu said. Let's say Archbishop Emeritus of South Africa. If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have taken the side of the oppressor. Yes, when you sit down and people are playing with your intelligence, with the intelligence of many citizens, and you have the willpower. God gave you the mouth, or you got the connection. You can talk, you can advocate, you can get out there and stand and hold a placard and say this is wrong. When you sit there and you don't do these things, you are in support of the oppressor. This is oppressing. What belongs to you, to the children of Liberia? Some of those children, when the money came in, when their money came in the country, if this money had gone in the hospitals or so, okay? Some of them that died between that day to this day, they wouldn't have. Yes, I will tell you this, they wouldn't have died. All of the citizens that went to the great beyond today, I can tell you they wouldn't have. But they sat down, they ate the money, they shared the money, they took the money away. And they say they are patriotic citizens. They're telling all that they love this nation more than anybody. But what we're saying, we're continuing to push for it. We want a truthful report. And we're asking you a question again on this platform. If you may, to join in and help to answer the question. To join in and help to answer the question. Given the gravity of this case here, do you think that Liberia will have a fair share, will benefit positively from the result of the investigation? That's number one question. Regardless of whoever that will be involved, as far as the issue of this $16 billion is concerned, what sort of punishment would you want them to face? Those are the questions I'm asking. I want you to help to answer. Let's go back, first of all, let's go back to where we came from and how we got here. Let's just go back to where we came from, how we got right here. Because we're asking these questions today because something erupted yesterday. Something came out yesterday. And because nobody cared to address the situation as we want them to address it. That is why we are here. That is why we are still asking questions. But let's go back to the drawing table and remind ourselves as to how we actually got here as far as the issue of the $16 billion is concerned. Thank you so much. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening once again. The program is Profile Liberia. We're talking about the $16 billion and the investigation as well. Asking you this afternoon, this morning, or this evening, regardless of whoever name that could be mentioned in this money saga, what punishment would you want them to face? Do you think Liberia would benefit from the outcome of the result of the investigation? That could be to get our full money. You think we'll get that? We'll get a $16 billion back? Will we benefit? Okay, let's listen to Nathaniel Patrick. Nathaniel, whatever it is. And then we'll listen to the party chairman of the CDC as well. What did he say?
Central Bank of Liberia wants to clarify to the general public and our partners in progress that there is no $16 billion Liberian missing, as has been erroneously reported in the media.
I have my head about missing money because I know what happened to the money. When I asked to testify in the saga, I would have asked the Central Bank governor, how come a whole container loaded of Liberian dollars is said to have ended up at the vault of National Savings Bank, where it is alleged that pickups were driven there under the cover of darkness during the campaign and were there uploaded and taken to personal homes.
The Central Bank of Liberia wants to clarify to the general public and our partners in progress that there is no $16 billion Liberian missing, as has been erroneously reported in the media.
I have my head about missing money because I know what happened to the money. When I asked to testify in the saga, I would have asked the Central Bank governor, how come a whole container loaded of Liberian dollars is said to have ended up at the vault of National Savings Bank, where it is alleged that and were they uploaded and taken to personal homes.
This is where I had problem with at the beginning of the investigation. When the president commissioned a body, when the president gave the Ministry of Finance the authority to do their internal investigation, and somebody who is telling you, who is implicating themselves in a huge case like this, isn't called upon, for questioning. So I had zero problem with that from the beginning of this case. The so-called team was put aside to investigate, to do internal investigation before. It's shamefully to have gotten the international community involved. This was done only because perhaps somebody think that if we don't do that, we are going to lose friends. The international community will not give us attention anymore. So let me just play it brave and invite people to come in and investigate. Let me contact the American embassy. Let me contact other organizations to see whether they can help us. You know, pretending. The man is telling you criminal. I mean, imagine something got missing in the office, and somebody's coming out who is also an employee in that ministry or just within that office, and telling you that I know what happened with the petty cash in the office. But then you are doing the investigation. You put a team together that you want to investigate, but the individual that is telling you that they know what happened to the petty cash, you're leaving them behind. You don't question them. You don't invite them for anything. So you see, when our people got in the street yesterday to ask for this money, these are some of the team that actually put the people in the street. Because after this chairman, so-called chairman, spoke and actually boastfully stated that he knows everything about the money, giving us an account of how the money was being handled from the container to some, from the Freeport of Monrovia in the container to somebody's house, from somebody's house, you know, put into small into pickups and taking it to people's homes as well. A distribution. It's like ration. You know, during the war, we have what they call ration time. Also, WFP, World Food Program. Every community also. You go, they call, you know, they call by household or so. And you go, you take your ration, you carry. So the money that belongs to the people of Liberia was being distributed to people like ration. You know, come and take yours. Bring your pickle. You know, bring an empty pickle and take yours, and you know, take it to anywhere you want to take. I mean, on a Malanza Open, just in case if you want to contribute, Malanza activated now. The video is also activated if you want to call and give your 1 or 2 cents on it. Help me to let's try to get an answer. Let's try to get a picture of this surrounding this whole thing here. Especially the 2 questions I'm asking: do you expect something good for Liberia out of this investigation? And number 2 question is, regardless of whosoever that will be mentioned in this money issue, what sort of punishment would you recommend for them? But let's go back again, just in case. Let's remind ourselves as to from where we came.
Liberia wants to clarify to the general public and our partners in progress that there is no 16 billion Liberian dollars missing, as has been erroneously reported in the media.
I want to hang my head about missing money because I know what happened to the money. When I asked to testify in the saga, I would have asked the Central Bank Governor, how come a whole container loaded of the $1 billion is said to have ended up at the vault of National Savings Bank, where it is alleged that people were drilling there on the cover of darkness doing a thing and were there up.
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
The president taking money very small. The public say he could cause us people. That would have made me scared. He now could no similar been able to call a George or who. But I'm scared. I know what we can do. I want to be able to go quick play. Those man Jew. All the people money and I still get money to replace it. The system better. The boss don't want money. This one. But anyway, I don't know the day I'm going to steal it. All of us steal the money, but we will dance as if we would kill.
Photo dead.
No one is. But if you will wait, let the whole go to my and then go to your lot.
Bring it. Yeah, bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Yeah, bring it back. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it back. Yeah, bring it back. Yeah, bring it back.
Hello? What do you mean? What do you mean I rock with your cow? The military still in one side that you rock with you? Yeah.
What do you mean I rock with your cow now?
That you rock with you.
Oh, I made a government crooked at dinner.
That fucking yeah.
All the suffering was suffering and the rock with you.
I will get up on myself. So by the time we are going to put it.
and our partners in progress. But there is no 16 billion Liberian dollars missing, as has been erroneously reported in the media.
I have my head about missing money because I know what happened to the money. When I asked to testify in that saga, I would have asked the Central Bank Governor, how come a whole continuous notice of Liberian dollars is said to have ended up at the vault of National Savings Bank, Savings Bank, where it is alleged that people were drilling there on the part of Douglas Lunatic and were there obnoxious and taking the personal loans.
Where is my God? Papa couldn't teach me. Let it stop asking me. Where is my God? Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see. Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see.
Hey, God. Do us a favor, oh God, come down. Put them to shame.
Where is my
Oh,
Wanted to see. Papa couldn't teach you. Let it stop asking me. Where is my God? Wanted to see. Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see.
yeah, we get between now and Thursday, Papa.
Let it stop asking me. Where is my God?
All of them that keeping this nation backward.
Let it stop.
$16 billion,
Where is my
Papa.
Wanted to see.
Put them to shame.
Wanted to see more. Wanted to see. Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see. My God.
Hey, Papa. Oh, God. We just calm down and just sort some people out, man.
Papa couldn't teach you.
Hey, Papa.
Wanted to see more. Wanted to see. Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see. Those that say I will become a failure, Papa couldn't teach you more. Those that say I will never get married, couldn't teach you more. Those that say when you wake up from out of me, my God, Papa couldn't teach you. Let it stop asking me, where is my God? Papa couldn't teach you. Wanted to see more. Wanted to see.
Hey, Papa. When are you going to do this? Thursday, right? Thursday. We just want to hear. We're just eager to hear from this report. And I hope by then the president should be back home in Liberia. Yes. Mr. President, you and your entourage. We want you to be in Monrovia, back home on base, for the releasing of this report. You can be out of the country for such an important occasion to take place behind you. You can't. Let me share this with you. This story came up yesterday. Today, actually. February 26th or 25th yesterday. And I just want to share this story with you. First of all, this is the story I want to share. Let me show you the story. This is it. Courtesy of the Front Page Africa, the missing billions and US 25 million are mystery down to the wire. 25 million mystery down to the wire. So it's like The wire means that the report now. We're talking about the report. It's down to the bottom now. Let me just get the gist of this story. It says here, late January, when President George Manneh Weah delivered his annual message before the joint session of the National Legislature, it was clear that his administration was aware about the anxiety hovering over the nation, still in shock over the missing of the 16 billion and US 25 million respectively. The president acknowledged that during the year 2018 under review, the news media was saturated with stories alleging that containers of Liberian dollars imported by the central bank were missing. Given the gravity of the allegations, the president declared his administration took several actions in response, including setting up a special presidential technical committee to investigate. In addition, the president said the government requested the assistance of the European Union, the African Union, the United States government, and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to help in conducting a separate external investigation into the alleged missing money. With the assistance and support of USAID, USAID, an audit team from Kroll of London, England, was invited to independently investigate and report findings. The report from the Kroll audit team is expected at the end of February 2019 and will be released to the public by USAID. If it is established that there has been any willful act of criminality, negligence, or malfeasance by anyone implicated in the reports, the full weight of the law will be brought to bear. The month of February is now down to its last 3 days, and the expectations are high about the findings in those reports, which have until now been made in secrecy and void of leaks, although murmurs about bits and pieces have been floating in the air. U.S. information phase long completed. U.S. information phase long completed. Front Page has learned that versions of both the report by the Special Presidential Technical Committee and the USAID funded one from the Kroll audit firm has been making the internal rounds of the diplomatic and government circles since last November. Wow. Or at least details from them. Both concerns over how Liberians will react to the reports have kept them from the glare of the public eye. So this news is telling us that actually by November last year, the people have concluded. They had a report already. But the report is telling us now, the news is telling us that they were asking themselves within the diplomatic circles as to, well, too many people are angry right now. Is it timely to give the report out to the public? Also, later on, the president or the government made a pronouncement and gave out an announcement and said that the report is on hold until after the holiday. So now, if you listen keenly to this particular news story now, something there, smoking gun, right? You heard of smoking gun? Yes, something there. Let me go further. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Christine Elder, revealed in December 2018 that a USAID hired international forensic team had completed the information gathering phase, which involved meeting with a number of relevant persons in Monrovia, including those who are involved with the domestic investigation. Remember, the president, when the incident took place, the first thing the president did say, you're going to commission a special body to do an internal auditing that is within Liberia. Okay? And people were appointed, headed by the finance minister. Yeah. Headed by the finance minister. And they did their internal investigation. According to what this information is telling us, they did the thing and it was done. The people that, well, the U.S. embassy or their counterparts that needed to be questioned, they met some of them. I don't know if they ever met the chairman of the CDC, who boastfully and willfully shouted loud and said and told the world, I know where the money is. I don't know whether he was investigated, but waiting for the blueprint of that, the black and white of that particular of the report. Okay, let me go further. The envoy explained that the Liberian government provided full cooperation during the exercise, adding that the international forensic team has returned to where it came from and was in the process of analyzing and compiling its findings to be made public. Although the ambassador failed to mention how soon the report will be out, some diplomatic circles suggested that the report will be made public after the Christmas and New Year's holiday of 2018. That was the initial promise we had. When I went to Monrovia, I was so happy because I went a bit early December, and we were told that the report was going to be released before Christmas. Okay, it was 3 days to Christmas. Even up to that time, some of us were appearing on radio stations and were asking, we were putting fire behind it. We want this report. We want to celebrate Christmas. We want to know where the money is, so that when we're celebrating the Christmas, maybe right after the Christmas, now we can know how we can suggest for this money to be used or whatsoever. Put the money back in the cover. Put the money back to Central Bank of Liberia. We just want to know where is the report. We want to know and think. So when the government heard this leading to the Christmas, they decided to say, well, you know why? We're not going to give the report. Let's cool the tension down. Let's tell the people we will give the reports after the New Year, after Christmas and New Year holidays. So exactly that is what they did. So they left us in limbo again. Yes, they left us in limbo. The report which was promised, it has been compiled long time. By November, the report was ready. By November, let me let you know, people. By November, this report was ready. Even from the international community perspective, the report was ready. It was ready. Let me tell you today. Now, but the international community, based on what they saw on the ground, based on what they experienced and the multitude of people they saw in Monrovia, around Monrovia and thing, in Montserrat County, out shouting out, where is our money? We want our money and thing. When the international community saw this thing happening, and given the fact of the matter, the history of the way we can behave, going back 1990. This is what some of us are critically thinking. Reasons behind the push for this report to be put on hold. Their presumption was that if the report is released, the way the tension is hot right now, majority of the people are angry and everybody is attacking and counter-attacking and everything. If we release it now, maybe there will be a problem. And they decided to hold the report as well. Both our people in Liberia and the international community that the government requested to come in. They decided to hold the report. We don't know who is behind this. We don't know. But this can't be President. We are alone. Sorry, I've been talking. I'm not watching my dashboard. Let me go to the video. Let's see whether we can get Pete Cook. Let me see. I don't know if they've been here before, because let me approve. Let's try Pete and see what Pete is going to say. You see, so it was ready. Right after this show, I'll be ringing this company because they're here in the UK. I got their number last night, and I'll be ringing the person that I'm supposed to speak to. I'll ring them and ask them. They Crow investigative team from the UK here. I want to ring them. I rang the ambassador this morning again in Monrovia, asking. Oh, they say decline. Pete, your call declined. I don't know why reason. Let me go to Yeki Williams as well. He's also in the queue. And from there, we'll go to Amos. But we keep telling them, even the letter that we wrote to the British ambassador, we sent a CC copy to the British ambassador, but the letter was addressed to the American ambassador in Monrovia. We told her that for us, all we want is we want you to help us release this report. The report is for us, for Liberian people. Let me go to my brother, Yeki. Welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you, Max, for the platform. And thank you for what you do, man. I think I saw you during the New Year's Eve when you were reporting live from the church compound of our current president.
All right. Yeah.
And that was a surprise to a lot of people. And in fact, that video was also shared to me by a Jamaican guy who I'm friendly with. We work together in New Jersey, and he was making up. That wow, the president now, from soccer president, now he's a clergy or man of God. I said, well, God will work in mysterious way, and we just joke about it. It was serious, and it's after the guy said, well, when you see African leaders doing those things, I mean, they don't have much to do, and they're looking for a way to extend their constituency, by, doing those. People who are gullible will see and say, oh, okay, God have touched, but I'm just letting you to know I'm going to tell you a couple of times. Right now, the topic now is in the partial report that is out there or speculation about what the report has in it, causing the government or the president to go on to it until the international report becomes. I don't trust the international partners to give clear explanation of the actual report because they have done it before. They have investigated the situation in Liberia and they see that this situation has the potential to create some level of fear among the people who hold onto it. What's all it down?
Yeah.
Because the more they keep holding on to it, then when portraying the narrative of God said, yes, say, and then at the end of the day, our people kind of like, okay, it flies down. Because if a report public as to speculation, as to what people already been feeding into, so that something happened, the past government were involved, and then the present government also, participate in guiding government, so government will all use as conduit, cover up. So that we're not going to just want to just mark and demand justice. But when people believe in Marvel Christ, they also that mark justice thing. Where you're going to see people going after people who are involved, whether it's in the night, whether it's running their cars, their family. And the police in Liberia not be able to stop such outrage. So I don't see where even the sitting government will want that report if it's so damaging to, the names of people.
I think Williams. I think William, we're struggling to hear you. You gotta get a bit closer to your microphone.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying this. If the government knows very well that this report will be damning and damaging, when it's published.
Yeah.
I don't think is anybody like to compromise their own security, because official of government who will see their security is at stake. Even people who are involved, maybe from the past government, I consider them as stakeholders. They don't want their security to be jeopardized. But the only way this report will be published is probably the report says this, that money was printed, it came and it was reported to central bank. Okay, or no, it was just allegation that amount of money was not printed. Money that was printed, I don't really want to believe that what I'm thinking about that money get missing about 16 billion, more than 16 billion, will be a report that will be published. That will be 16 billion money. And FYC was involved. I refuse to believe that, because I just know the chaos that is possible. People that will take not just the street, but people at home of people that were involved. Let me explain that mob you. You don't have to be a rebel leader in power for the people. I don't think we are government, in security environment, we are strong to fulfill those situations, because the people are suffering so much now, compared to before. Because if Madam Telly's government, corruption was happening. Helen had a way of trying to mitigate it, where she was the only one signing vouchers of $50,000 in a bomb. But under this president, the Minister of Finance, who controls the government, who runs the government, he's the one signing voucher from any amount up to millions. So what is happening over there? Talk to people who are working with the LRA. On their computer, how much money is spent for everything. Yeah, about how much money government spend, it's way above what they're even raising, what they're even generating.
Yeah.
Some of the money comes from. Some of the money not coming from donor entities. Some of the money are money that are like the guarantor fees for those banks that are operating in Liberia. Whether it's 9 or 11 banks right now, I don't know to be exact. But when I was living in Liberia, it was about 9 commercial banks. Those banks, the amount beside the LBDR, that government owned partly, 40% share is for government. All the other commercial banks got their guarantor fee of about $8 million. Every year, they add about almost 2 to 4% of their profit on that. Some of those banks have more than $20, $30 million. Because some of the money the government is spending. Some of the money the government is spending. The government owns corresponding account. Kind of like not saying that the federal government don't have reserve is not the central bank. No. Reserve is New York Mellon Bank. Other people will say, oh, Bank of New York. Yes, that was the name before, Bank of New York. Now it's New York. It's NY Mellon. NY Mellon, Bank of New York Mellon. The bank that was reserved. $25 million were even, taken from that bank. That was used to mop up whatever, cash flow or currency flow in the outside banking sector. Samuel Chua would think he understands economics, that he didn't really. He's not a financial expert, he's not a manager, he's not a technician, he's just a politician. He's just a politician who said a political sign. Running government like he's a financial expert. When he went for confirmation, he said you don't have masters in finance. Okay, but then, how can you be running government like you're an expert? government want to borrow from other accounts for those other commercial banks. How they spend money. LRA is generating less money than
Oh yeah,
government
now
is spending.
nothing coming from there now. It's not like before. Yeah.
You know,
It's not
all
like
the
before.
government supposed to bring public sector in, to be able to generate funds for public sector initiative or public sector project. It's for the government to reduce her own expenditure. The size of the government should be reduced. Some ministries don't deem necessary for me. If I analyze how many ministries they should be able to reduce or close down. Information ministry is number one. You put the information aspect, like the minister and the deputy, under executive mind. They are the mouthpiece of government. You take the tourism aspect of that culture and tourism, you put it under internal affairs. You take the registry part that we follow to register and regulate and certificate media entities. You put it under the business registry. Our whole ministry gone away. That expenditure have been reduced to about probably 40% of it. When you look at probably all the West African countries got like embassy for what reason? It's an ECOWAS zone. What do you have? Why you want to have embassy in Sierra Leone? Goes all around there for what? It's not cool time that you got a despotic leadership in government, that you want to have security in all the countries to monitor what Liberians are doing around it, for fear that they should not come and overthrow you. That was the reason why embassies were created in the West African zone. You make sure that the West African zone have one embassy in maybe Nigeria, the largest African country, population. One embassy right there. You go to East Africa, you say, okay, Tanzania or Kenya. But then you go to South Africa, Lesotho, Botswana, Namibia, and all those countries down the south, you got one embassy in Johannesburg, South Africa. You look to North Africa, you say, okay, Egypt will maintain embassy in Egypt. That reduced government expenditure right there. Then the foreign ministry itself, you look at some of those departments like assistant minister for American affairs, Asia affairs, this, that. You start shutting down some of those ministries because you got embassy in Asia, in China.
All right, Williams, let's I don't want to divert too deep because what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense. Where I am here, United Kingdom, during Tony Blair time a couple of years ago, when Tony Blair was in power, I was one of those that actually attacked Tony Blair to open embassy in Liberia. I wrote Tony Blair through my representative, and they replied. And in our reply, I got educated why they're not no longer opening a single embassy or have ambassadors sitting in Liberia. They explain everything in the letter. Say the first thing they said, we are cutting down our expenditure, and it's not only in West Africa. We have done it in other part of the country, other part of the world, where we have about 4 countries having one country that they can go and get visa if they want to travel to the UK. So because we are cutting down our expenditure, this is why we have decided we are not.
That's the point that I'm making.
That's it.
How much,
I agree with you.
How much the UK government is generating in terms of business venture and other, whether it's capitalist venture or whatever other investment initiative that they got in Liberia, how much proceed coming from there to the UK? Nothing.
No.
So
nothing.
you look at the two ways. You say, oh, are we getting revenue or financial support from UK? Okay, let's match it. Let's compare it. Since we're getting maybe 3 million pound, British pound, that is about $5 million US. Let's see if we maintain embassy there, how much we're going to spend yearly. Okay, we're spending maybe 0.5 of a million, which is 500,000 yearly, or we're spending $1 million, or close more than $1 million we're spending monthly on the embassy program there. Then you say, okay, you narrow it. Since that embassy is in UK, let's see whether we'll be able to transact with other partners in UK, Ireland, Scotland, and things. So their costs will spread across there. You say, okay, there's a need to maintain embassy in London, in England, for the UK zone. Then you look to other Western European countries like the Schengen visa zone. That means France, Belgium, and other countries right there. While maintaining embassy in Paris and then embassy in Brussels, in Belgium, when it's a Schengen zone, you maintain one for the about 14 countries in Europe. That is cutting down cost. The government will have much money to save. So at the end of the day, if government expenditure come down to about 30% reduction, that 30% will be about $60 million that the government can spend on agriculture or infrastructure. But the government is spending so much money, embassies here and there. Embassies here and there. On the reason why America spent $150 billion on foreign expenditure, that means to maintain embassies and relationship with other countries, is because other business opportunities that they will create.
Jackie, I want to hold you there. A lot of brothers and sisters are trying to come in as well to make their contribution. But we do appreciate you very much for your contribution as well. Thank you. Thanks for your contribution.
Okay.
That's
Thank you for watching.
Brother Williams there, who also just made his contribution. But that is it. It's a reality. And so let me see. Let me go back on the dashboard. Thank you so much, Fanny, for your contribution, for the reminder as well. Yes, we're trying to keep to the top.